Okay guys, so today I wanted to talk about, when you hear me talk about stabilizers, interfacing, foams, fleece, things like that. I wanted to test out a few and just show you some different options and how they would show themselves on your projects. So, for example, you've seen me before use just a regular interfacing, and this has got bumpy dots on the back. That's the glue. So you would use this a lot. Like I did it on a purse because I didn't want it to be real stiff. You would use it that way. You might use it on appliques, collars, cuffs, things like that. But you put the glue dots down against your fabric. I use a big piece of parchment paper. This one came on a roll. I think I got it from Amazon, and it's considered a medium weight interfacing. You can also buy interfacing that does not have the adhesive on it that you actually sew in. So that's something to be aware of, depending on your project, what you would want to buy. Okay, so I'm going to lay this one aside and let that kind of cool off, and then we'll go ahead and do another one while we're waiting on this. And anytime you are using it, the fabric you're putting it on, you want to make sure that you don't have any wrinkles in it. So if your fabric's been folded, for example, you would want to iron it out nice and flat. And this is one I got, I believe, from Temu. It is a fleece, but it's very thin. I'm hoping this one works out okay because it's such a thin fleece. I think it would be good for wallets instead of having it too thick and bulky. And I have one more. This one's also thin, but it is stiffer. So it would still, I think, be good for wallets. We're going to see how it reacts. I'm just putting it on regular quilting cotton. I'm not using stiff fabrics at all. This one has a back edge to peel off. You may not actually have to iron it, but I'm just going to go over it a little bit anyway, just to make sure the edges and everything is good. I think they are, but it can't hurt to just give it a little bit of an iron. It's so sticky though. This one I'm wondering about how your needle would go through it. So I'm definitely going to be using it though to test it out. Okay, I think that's fine. Like I said, it was already sticky. Okay, so here was the first fabric. As you can see, it's very flimsy. You know, it's not going to stand up on its own at all, right? So we put the thinnest on there. It would be something that would be good if you needed just a little bit of stiffness, like if you were making the lining of a purse maybe, or the inside pocket where you wanted it to have just a little bit of structure. This would be good for that, because it's not going to ruin the pliability of it, but it's going to give you just a little bit of stiffness. Or if you were making a wallet and you wanted to put little individual pockets for credit cards and things like that, this gives you just enough stiffness that it won't cave in. And then we used, let's grab the other fabric. Okay, we used this fabric, again, just a quilting cotton, nothing special, no stiffness to it. This one we put the iron-on foam, and you can see there, it's pretty thick. This quilts up really pretty. I did do a makeup bag using this foam, and it's easy to sew. Even though it has that thickness, it is foam, so it's not hard to sew at all. And you can just run some grid lines down it, whatever you want to do, or you could do squiggles, free motion quilting on it, whatever you want. But this, of course, this foam, so it's rigid. It's the most rigid, of course, right? It's just going to stand up for you. So, great for bags. And then let's grab this piece of fabric, another quilting cotton. I just want you to see that it's not special fabric, it's not stiff, anything like that. It's still an iron-on fleece, but it's not a thick fleece. But it gives it some really good structure. Look at this. That's good. That's really good structure. So if you was making a purse, for example, or a shopping bag, anything like that, this one would be great. It's going to be easy to sew through because it is thin. You still get a little bit of quilting on it if you wanted to quilt it just to give it a nice look. But I do like this one. And then the last one is the one that had the glue already on it. It's a little bit stiffer than that one, but very similar. But definitely stiffer, and I believe it's probably the adhesive that they already had on the back. That was not an iron-on adhesive, it was already sticky, tacky. So I do like it. I'm anxious to see how these two, well, I have sewn with this one before, but I have not sewn with this one, so I'm anxious to see how that's going to do, or if this would be better to use with maybe something like a vinyl, something that you're not going to be quilting, strips of leather, things like that, strapping maybe. But yeah, whatever I use it on, I'll make sure I video that project so I can talk to you about what I think about it. But this one's really great. Now, this one is either Amazon or Temu. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. The foam is, and it'll say on here, Flex Foam one-sided fusible stabilizer. And you can tell the difference when you feel of them, which one has the glue on it. You can get this without the adhesive on it as well. So just be aware when you're buying something like this to make sure you're looking at what it's got on it. This one, oh yeah, this is the Temu or Amazon. I think it's Temu. Let's see. The others, I believe one of them at least is Pellon. Let me see which is which. Okay. Yes, it's made by Pellon, 987F, and it's the one that I said was similar to that one, only you have to iron this one on. So it's thin, but still gave some really good stiffness. This is it right here. And then the other one was Amazon. It's a roll. Comes in a big long roll like this, and it's considered a medium weight. And so I've used this on a few projects, which I like it. Alright, so I just kind of wanted to go over that stuff with you. So when you are seeing me do some projects and I'm talking about the stiffeners, the fleeces, the foams, that you know what I'm talking about. You're a little bit familiar with this now. And when I'm using it, you know, you'll understand a little more. Alright, I just wanted to kind of go over these with you. There are so many out there on the market. I just had these and wanted to show you these because they're different weights, they're different thicknesses, things like that. So when you're out there looking though, you'll know you'll be able to feel it. Like if there's one that's lightweight, it's going to be similar to this right here. You'll be able to see through it. This one is a little bit opaque. I'm not sure if you can tell that. You can see my hand, but not just every vein, right, or anything, every line. That's because it's a medium weight. And then your a heavy weight in this same type is going to be thicker. It's going to be more white. It'll be tighter weave, I guess you would say. And I would definitely use this in all three, depending on my project. And then these, you'll be able to actually feel, not this one, this is Timu. But these, you'll be able to feel them and see the thickness of it there. This one, I would consider this one maybe a medium. Maybe a medium, because there are thicker fleeces that you can get that have the adhesive on the back. Oh, and that brings up another thing. Back when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of this, but there was spray adhesives that if you did have the foam, for example, my mom would use an adhesive. Now the only one I have here at home is this quilt basting spray. I think this would be what you would want to use because it's less likely to gum up your needles versus if you just got Elmer's or something like that. So you can, if you accidentally bought the wrong one, for example, just know that you can use adhesives and you'll be fine. And then if you're going to come behind and quilt it, that's even better. That way if the adhesive is meant to wash out like this one is, your quilting has everything held in place anyway. Alright guys, well just a quick little video there showing you the different types. And then when you see me use them on bags and wallets and little change purses and things like that, you know, if I bring it up again, I may refer you back to this video. Okay, have a great week. This one would be good on if you were making a purse and you wanted the lining on the inside to have just a little bit of something, this would be good for that. Because you've got just a little bit of stiffness there that you can... Oh my goodness. Oh, she's a good girl. Oh gosh.